Cherith, these days, I actually hear a lot of people who self-identify as Christians, yet they say they're agnostic or aren't sure about or don't even care about the resurrection of Jesus or us. And I hear you pushing back on that. You seem to think the resurrection matters, and it can't just be a metaphor.
Mm.
So why is that important to you? What are you seeing?
Well, it's important if Jesus is the beginning and end of everything, and he's the one that we look to see how God's beginning is our end and God's end is our new beginning, it's human, right? So resurrection really always has to be a bodily human resurrection. So I think back for a second about Jesus getting kind of set up by these Pharisees and Sadducees, like, okay, the 7 brothers have this same wife as each one dies, and she marries the next one and the next one, and then they like, okay, so who does she marry to in the eschaton, in the end of the age, right, in the new creation? And he's just like, well, first of all, it is a setup, because half of you as Sadducees don't even believe in the resurrection, and the other half of you are assuming that actually you need her to be married to somebody. Why? So that she can have children. Why? Because you're going to die. So who's going to keep the family lineage going? He goes, oh, children of resurrection, he says, you will be like the angels in the sense that you will be immortal. This is a question that is a nonsense question for children of resurrection, because you will no longer be subject to death. And he says, don't you get it? Remember that God is the God of the living, not the dead. And the living include right now Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are living, let alone all of you who will forever be the children of the living with me. And so again, I'm like, wow, Jesus, for me, when as a kid, resurrection was just an idea that kind of sealed salvation. Like, it's really going to happen. We all get to go be with God, but we is some disembodied soul thing, I was thinking at that time. But the more I see folks kind of give away resurrection, especially for those who move in the direction of, well, it's just the collective memory of God's disciples around the goodness of Jesus and the teachings of Jesus or whatever, I'm like, is that it? Like, is the best you're ever going to know in your human experiences, you might have a couple of incredible moments of profound sense of the love of God, or kind of an awareness, like an enlightened awareness of how deep and rich and wondrous and mysterious this love for God for you is as a human being. But if you never have that, oh well, like that was it. That was your human chance. And now, as I would hear people say things like, well, we are going to be like the angels, like literally, like he's going to turn us into some other androgynous being form, because actually Genesis 1 and 2, like it started out very good, but it turned out really bad. So we just have to turn them into something else so that eternally they can be something else that works in the presence of God. But if Jesus is actually the ascended, still human Son of Mary, as well as Son of God, then that's where this turns out. And then suddenly, as children who all become children of resurrection through the life of Jesus, we all get our particular lives back and restored and renewed and able to finally not just be in communion with God, but get to do stuff with God that we were made to do as human children who steward the life of God in whatever that new creation form will be. Like, I can't wait, Brad, to be a sister to you in a way that I really want to be, without all the insecurities or all the whatevers. Like, just, we'll finally just get to be what we were made to be together. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait to love my husband the way I really want to love my husband, right? And wow, there's a future for me, but it's not to go, well, oh well, this is the life I have to live. I'll just, no, it's like, I want to be as close to my future as I can possibly be, and that's the invitation of the Christian life, is do you want to start leaning into, by the Spirit, the life that you will always have, or you want to start forming that in the cruciform way of Jesus now? I do, because I'm a child of resurrection.